All right, so we're sitting here and we're watching the O'Kellys, and they're comparing boats versus RVs. And we're sitting here in our RV with our glass of wine and our chips and our reclining lounge chairs.
And I'm about to have a great night's sleep because I don't have to wake up to an anchor alarm.
Correct. And we're talking about the cost of insurance, which is dirt cheap on the RV and monumentally expensive on the boat. And we're talking about all these things, and we're going, what the heck are we doing?
We're thinking to ourselves, what
have we
in the
done?
hell have we done? Because we just spent a lot of money on a catamaran.
Correct. And we did spend a lot of money on this RV that is legit.
Yeah, but not as much as the catamaran.
Ay. But nevertheless.
Thanks, O'Kellys.
Yeah, thanks, O'Kellys. Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Just made us second guess our yacht.
But you know what? We're gonna see you out there.
Yeah, we're gonna see you.
We're gonna see you.
I'm gonna discuss this boat versus RV situation.
Coming for you, O'Kellys. I'm coming for you. I'm gonna talk to you face to face about your RV versus boat. Okay, so we just finished watching the O'Kellys RV versus boats episode, and I'm still coming for you, but I'm coming to say thank you. Because, yes, RVing is way easier and more convenient because we're obviously living in one right now. However, the segment that you did on being self-sufficient and the sense of accomplishment and the sense of adventure is what we're going for. Yes. And
being able to set out on an adventure with no knowledge of where you're going to end up or how it's going to go. That is the huge difference.
And when you just have sailing in your heart, you just got to get out there and sail.
Yeah.
And I do. Sure. I have sailing in my heart. I don't know where it came from, but I have it. Anyways, so.
Well, we already bought a boat. We're going. We're committed.
We did. We bought a boat. And we're going to make a 3,200-mile cross-country adventure in our RV to get to our boat and move on to her. So.
Well, and then we have to sell the RV, so.
Yeah, and then we have to sell the RV. So if anybody's watching this wants to buy the RV.
Yeah.
Actually, it'll probably already be sold by then.
Yeah, unfortunately, because of the delay in publishing the video.
Because I'm not a great fast editor.
Yeah, I know. It's going to be a little behind.
Not fast.
So I'm real sorry if you love our RV. And it's already sold. I'm real sorry.
Yeah. Anyways, thank you, O'Kellys. You broke my heart and made me happy all on the same night.
When we wake, hear the birds and see the sun. Side by side, our fears are done. Oh, the good times just begun. We know what we have, let's hold on tight. Found what we're looking for in life. Call us crazy, but things are finally right. With you and I, the future is bright.
To get ready for our trip to Florida, we have a lot of rearranging and packing to do. And it starts with moving the RV out of the way and turning it around. Then we'll have to move Resurrection where the RV was. Then we have to get Percy lined up and connect Percy to the RV. We have quite a lot of juggling to do today. Getting Finn in and out of the gate and making the sharp turn outside the driveway is a whole adventure in itself. It's super nice that my mom is letting us keep Resurrection on her property until we figure out the long-term plan there. We've decided to put both Teslas up for sale and keep the truck for now. And we'll see which Tesla sells first, or if they both sell quickly, we don't know yet. It's also nice that my mom has a little shed on her property she's letting us use also for storage. So we have some things stored in there. And we're ready to connect Percy and hit the road tomorrow. The RV is a complete mess. That Lieutenant Dan's face sure does say it all. So we're getting ready to leave for our trip today.
Why is it so dark?
And we're looking at the weather, and
It's just terrible.
Yeah. We're thinking only do a half day today because it's going to take us a long time to get ready and leave. And this is tomorrow morning in the exact same place.
Hey guys, wanted to update you. So we've got some brush piles being burned on our drive out. So hopefully these brush piles have burned down quite a bit before we need to drive down that road, which is right there, and the fire is there and there, so we don't catch on fire. So we'll see.
So just cleaned out the fridge for where the hamburger spilled on the trip in Resi here, and cleaned up the dishes, and just a little bit of TLC before we leave it. My mom's loaning us this old humidifier, which I'm going to wipe down and put in here to keep in the boat while we're gone. Got the last few things I want to get out of it out. And Percy, we got Percy all set behind the RV. We ran it the other day and made sure the engine was happy, and adjusted the trailer, checked the tire pressures. She's all hooked up, getting everything ready to go. Final preparations now to leave. We're still, Beth's especially real tense because she's nervous about beating the weather. So trying to wrap up everything here on the boat to make sure it's going to be okay to leave it. So I ran the generator, I put the fuel off and ran out of fuel so the carburetor wouldn't have any fuel in it. Now I'm going to look at these engines and see if there's any way to drain the fuel out of those, and that'll be the last thing I do. So I'm running the boat motors. Make sure they're as fresh as they can be before we go. Maybe a while before we get back. This one looks okay so far. The last task is dump the waste tank on the boat, and I can do it two ways. I can suck it or I can pump it, and so I've hooked up the hose, open this valve right here, and turn on the pump, and away she goes. So I was very happy to find that right on the sides of these carburetors are these bolts right there, and they're those little drains for the fuel in the carburetors. So I've been able to drain the fuel out of all the carburetors, which just makes me feel a lot better about leaving for a while, because I know that fuel's not going to sit there and get all stagnant and stinky and gum up the carburetors. So got all 6 of them drained, made kind of a mess. Got gas on my sleeves, so I've just washed that off with soap and water. Didn't really figure out how to do it cleanly, but I got it.
We did it!
We did it, we're on the road.
We are on the road, and I'm so happy. Look at those signs, they are like bent over.
All the signs, yeah.
Every single one. I just looked at the weather, and currently we have 25 knots consistent and gusts up to 60 miles an hour on our tail, so that's pretty cool. So I was just sitting here in this front passenger seat minding my business, and look who decided to join me. Just plopped up on my lap like he owned it. Apparently he missed his mommy. So naturally I gave him the pillow. Silly dog. Oh, silly dog. Bouncing all over the place. Okay, well, we're gonna update you guys. We've been driving all day and haven't gotten gas. And what do we say?
I think we gotta turn around and go back to that gas station.
You do?
Yeah, I'm looking, we're like on the red, even after we're down this hill. I think it's our only safe bet.
Or we might run out of gas.
Yeah, and it's because it's already like 10 or 12 miles back to that gas station.
Okay, well.
And it really sucks because we're turning this thing around now.
Yeah, we're gonna have to go up here to the
Really
street, yeah.
That really sucks for our time, but oh well, like we say, you never be in a hurry when you're in an RV.
Yeah. Hopefully we don't get creamed because nobody can see us. Demo, did you sense our little anxiety here?
Yeah. It's not the best way to start the trip, but, and maybe we'd have made it fine, but I'd hate to be 30 miles, like literally 30 and 40 miles away in either direction from the gas station and realize we couldn't.
I guess the next thing we need to tell you is at the other side of this hill we're going to go back over, we saw a sign that said next gas station 68 miles.
Yeah, and at that point we were over a quarter tank, and this thing has a 75 gallon tank, so typically that's like over 100 miles, so I wasn't really worried, but after we went over the mountain it went down into the red, and now now I don't have such faith.
Yeah. And this is coming from somebody that usually always runs us out of gas. So if he's worried, I'm worried.
Well, so it's morning of our second day now, and it is a good thing that we did stop or go back for fuel last night, because it was several passes and a long distance, and I don't think the RV would have actually made it to an actual gas stop. So going back to Burns, Oregon, filling up, and then we pushed in pretty late into the night. Actually, we were so tired and it was dark, so we didn't film last night, but we got all the way to Ontario, Oregon, which is right near the border with Idaho, which means we're only an hour from Boise, which is where we're stopping to see family. And this incredible storm that we're trying to beat, at least here in Ontario, has turned out so far to be pretty mild, but we're glad to not be up in the mountains where they were expecting snow. So no major problems except a weird thing I'll show you. So last night Elizabeth went to take a shower and there was no hot water, or very little. It was lukewarm. And so this morning I'm trying to figure it out, and I realized that I had touched this bypass valve, and I had it cockeyed. Well, I went to fiddle with it and it just came loose, and it's gone wonky. So we found a spot on here where it's letting the hot water through, but this is designed so when you're winterizing your RV you can bypass the hot water heater. And when I was putting all this stuff away yesterday, I must have knocked into it, and now I'm not even sure which way to, fiddling around with it trying to get it right, and it's all moving in directions it shouldn't. So that's frustrating, and we got it to where the water is pretty warm, pretty hot, close to hot, so we're going to live with that until we have time to dig into that more. So that's kind of frustrating, but other than the shower situation, no major problems to report. We are a little worried about our water tank because it was leaking a lot when we left, and the water tank's in the very back of this RV. And since we left, we hasn't had any leaking, but I'm wondering if there's a crack at the top of the water tank or something weird like that. We just happened to we're here at the Ontario Fairgrounds, which is where we decided to stop last night. Turned out to be a nice place to stop because it's just a big open area and no one's worried about you parking here for a night. And even better is they got a full RV service dump station right here. That dump station says was put in by local community members in the Lions Club, and it's all they're asking for is a donation of $5 to fill up with water and dump your tanks. And now we just barely left, and we don't really need to, but considering our shower problems, and we've been using a lot of water trying to get it hot, and the fact that we were worried about whether our tank might be leaking because it's not showing that it's completely full, we might just top off and dump our tanks and be fresh for the rest of the, for the next part of the trip. So since we're right here and it's a simple thing to do, we're not in a hurry today because today's the day we were going to stay hunkered down for weather. It's supposed to be super windy and rainy and snow in the mountains, so it's not particularly bad weather here yet, but it's still probably coming, and so we're not going to go anywhere but Boise today and do some shopping and provisioning for the rest of our trip and then see family. So it's a good day to deal with problems. So an update, we just had a short day yesterday, so now it's actually day 3. We only had a 45-minute drive to my aunt's house, and this is actually my aunt's neighbor's house because they had enough room for us just to pull right up. We're in a big cul-de-sac here. So yeah, just visiting family and waiting for the worst of the weather to pass. It really wasn't that bad of weather. We probably could have driven through it, but still now we're feeling real refreshed and ready to travel. The only thing that's going to be interesting today is that they're predicting up to 70-mile-per-hour gusts across Wyoming. So if we make it that far, 70-mile-per-hour gusts are going to be real interesting. But it's a tailwind, so we're going to see how that goes. 70-mile-per-hour gust to our tailwind could be pretty interesting. Might save a lot of gas, so we're going to give it a shot, see if we get that far. And
Denla, where's your toy? Is this your toy? What did you do to your toy?
Leaving this place, the sun's about to break. You're riding shotgun. The feeling we chase, I'm wide awake. Take me away now.
Danlo's just...
He's less than impressed.
He's less than impressed. So we're middle of the day here, about lunchtime. Cooking a flatbread pizza and garlic bread and a little spaghetti for lunch. And doing our sheets, so another load of laundry on the road today. Amazing.
Our drive has been pretty uneventful. We've had lots of wind on our rear. What would you say, like 40 miles an hour tailwind?
I don't know if it's been that strong, but probably at least 30.
Between 15 and 30 for
Yeah,
sure.
and the whole RV is shaking right now just from the wind blowing. It's been, I mean, you could look outside and see that sign right there is just shaking from the wind blowing.
Yeah.
Pretty crazy.
Thank goodness it's not to the side or on our nose.
Yeah,
Thank goodness.
You get pushed around a little every time you curve a little bit, but it's not been too bad.
Yeah.
So.
It's been okay.
Yeah.
I won't go down the same old path again now. No, I've been running out of air, so let me catch my breath. Feeling I've got's making me crazy. If I'm having a good time, don't you blame me.
So we're stopped at a Walmart here.
We're not stopped, we're camped.
We're camped, and the wind is so strong. Anyway, yeah, so, jeez.
You hate your editor, don't you?
I hate my editor.
He hates his editor.
Yeah, I can't film this
He
in my
can't.
life.
Yeah, it's okay. He doesn't really hate me.
Yeah, so we stopped at this Walmart because it is so freaking windy, and it's supposed to be a lot windier in Wyoming, and we are not roughing it in the least. Just poured a couple of IPAs.
We got a little beer.
Correct. And
because we're real worried about the beer not being great.
Yeah, right. And as we travel.
Going.
And we're catching up on a little bit of Sailing La Vagabond on YouTube. And the dog's relaxing, and we got a nice view actually from the Walmart parking lot. There's snowy mountains. I mean, geez, couldn't argue with that. So it's a little bit early to stop, but after this, it's going up the mountains into Wyoming, and it's 70-mile-an-hour winds up there.
We had to stop here because if we go any further, we might actually, not dramatic, we actually might blow off the road.
Yeah.
Because it is legit, like, sustained 35 knot winds and gusts up to 70 to 80.
Yeah, it's crazy. And it's freaking windy here.
There's no way we're driving this through Wyoming today.
Yeah. So anyway, so that's what we get to do, and the nice thing is we're gonna make some good food, and if we're missing any ingredients, geez, we're about,
Yeah, I'll just go pick it up at Walmart.
half a parking lot away.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's working out. I don't know if you can see this. The sun's setting right here, but this is our Walmart campsite. And there are beautiful horses grazing out here. And there's a train going by out in the distance. And it's pretty amazing. I mean, you couldn't pick a campsite more beautiful. And we're parked at a Walmart. Pretty crazy. Okay, so we're beginning, I guess technically day 4. We did take a day off to wait for weather, but we are about ready to hit the road, and our choice to skip the Interstate 80 across Wyoming was smart because they ended up just closing Interstate 80 across Wyoming. So yeah, so we're about to hit the road, and we decided instead of Wyoming, we're going south. And so going south diagonally across Colorado and to the panhandle of Texas. That's our plan.
It's cold out there.
Cold. We're ready to get warm for sure.
Cold.
It's so cold. So we're going south, hitting the road now.
So we just passed a sign saying what was it called?
I don't even remember which summit.
Anyways, there's a huge summit 7 miles away. We're in Colorado. We just left Gunnison. We're on our way to Pueblo. Anyways, this is 7 miles of uphill. We're going, how fast? 35?
30 miles an hour. Right?
30 miles an hour in our motorhome. So
It's gonna take a little while.
it's gonna take a little bit.
I don't know how high we're going, but we started at over 7,000 feet, so probably gonna be, I don't know how high the summit is. It's gotta be at least 10.
It's probably one of Colorado's crazy 11,000 feet ones.
Yeah, probably.
Anyways, so we're doing.
Making me crazy. So I'm just gonna drive. I'm just gonna drive. I'm just gonna drive. I'm just gonna drive.
Up to the summit.
Wherever we go, we're taking control.
On our crest, Continental
Future is
Divide.
ours now.
Elevation,
The road never
11,000.
It's me and my friends.
What does that say?
These are the
I don't even know where you're
On
looking.
the building, 11,312. Yep. 11,312. Pretty high.
It's pretty high. That one over there is higher. See that one over there?
Well, it's pretty as high as we can drive, that's for sure. Alright. Now we go down for
6% grade for the next 10 miles. Truck stay in low gear.
making me crazy.
Lowest gear we have.
This is the part I don't like. I always get scared going downhill in this.
I'm just gonna drive. I'm just gonna drive.
Jacob insists on taking all these mountainous curves going 55 miles an hour.
We're going 55, going 35.
You were just going 55 till I pressed the camera.
Now the max we can go in this gear is about 43, 45. That's our total. That's what it's. How many RPMs? I said the speed limit is 55, so we're fine.
Oh, how his demeanor changes when I turn the camera on.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. He was all evil Knievel over there.
Okay, so next morning, we made it to Gunnison, Colorado last night, just as it was getting dark. Actually went out to eat, which is nice. First time we've been out to eat on the trip, and had a good craft beer and a good sandwich, so that was nice. Found another fairgrounds again. Sun's not probably ideal to see it, but just a little fairgrounds here in Gunnison. It's a quiet spot and no one's around, and so we didn't feel bad about parking here and didn't have any problem. And we are going to need to find an RV dump probably at some point, because both our gray water and our fresh water are the two things that we go through, pretty fast, because we don't conserve too much. We just live our life in here, so you know, doing laundry, showering every day. That pretty much means we need to refill water about every 36 hours, really. We could go, actually more than that, we can go 2 solid days, so 2.5 days. Actually, we could, because we've been 2 nights already without stopping to fill water. So yeah, but after 2 nights and doing laundry, it's time. We're pretty much, you know, gray water's full and fresh water's about empty. So anyway, nice little town, but 7,700 square feet elevation, so it is freaking cold here. It would be not surprising to see snow on the ground, but it is getting into April. Not middle of April, but it's close, and so really it should be springtime, and there's still a lot of snow. There's piles of snow around where it's been plowed up, so definitely a cold place here in Colorado, but we are super happy to get back to the warmth. We're heading toward Texas today, and we're hitting the road here in a few minutes, and definitely ready to warm up.
What are you doing there, babe?
Checking the oil.
Why?
Because we haven't checked it in a long time, and the computer just said it's low.
Oh, that's a good reason.
Yeah.
How low are we?
I don't know yet. The dipstick.
That is the longest.
Yeah, we'll have to get all the way back to the bottom of the engine block. It's a long dipstick. All right, here we go. We're probably a quarter too low, I would guess. It was so cold, I didn't want to even check the oil where we were.
Yikes, that's real low.
Yeah, it's real low.
I think it's 10 quarts low.
10 quarts.
Well, it's barely even on there.
Add a quart there. 1, 2.
So it's 1, 2,
3 quarts?
4, maybe 4, because 1, 2, 3, 4.
I don't know. I'm thinking 3 quarts.
Okay.
That's a lot of low.
But it's a good thing we're parked at Walmart. Look, see, there's Walmart. Serendipitous.
Question is, can I actually pour this in here after I told you? Don't worry about it. I can do it.
Yeah, I did tell him to get a funnel. He didn't listen to me. As you guys will learn, he never listens to me. Do you, babe?
Yeah, sometimes I do. Oop, there's a little spill. But I got it.
Every time I'm videoing you, don't have an I told you so moment.
That was kind of an I told you so. I did spill a little.
Yeah, oh well. Okay, I'm gonna put the camera down and get your other bottles ready.
Okay. So now is when our motivation's starting to slack. We've been driving all freaking day.
All day.
All day, and we're gonna go ahead and go all the way to Amarillo, which
is halfway.
Which is halfway, yeah.
Which is exciting.
It's exciting. We'll be halfway. It's just, oh, he moved.
Look.